to Italy for the ICF first World Cup slalom of the 2016 season. It's in Ivrea, this ancient town, 23,000 people, quite close to the Alps in northern Italy, is having a ball this weekend. There's a new, redeveloped channel. It's 12 years since the ICF have been in Italy, and this weekend there really is something special. We're going to follow the 5 traditional categories. I'm Matthew Layton, and let's get started. It's the C1 final. As you can see, a lot of big names have made it through. Some big names haven't. 24-year-old Thomas Cochlin representing Switzerland. He's no surprise to the top level. He's been competing many, many years. Spends most of his time in Pau in the southwest of France with part of the Kayak Inipi group. Here he comes, very tight, very compact. In and out of the first gate. As you see in the canoe, he's kneeling down with a single-bladed paddle. The rules are fairly straightforward. You negotiate yourself down the 24 gates as fast as possible. Red and white, you have to take upstream. Green and white is just going through now. You take downstream. And there are 6 upstream gates. Here's number 16. Hasn't caused that many problems so far today. But here's a tricky section. You really need to put your boat in the right position, and he does this absolutely perfectly. Here he goes. Oh, just next that. The rule is you need to put your whole head and part of your boat to go through. Took an unplanned spin, I suspect, on gate number 20, but you're allowed to do this. It's really tight here. Spins off and pushes off the boulder. Now, just one more gate to negotiate, which he does correctly. 5 more meters to go, and his course is finished. Well, as he was the first to go, by definition, he goes into provisional first place. 10 athletes are in this final, and they're actually going in reverse order of the times with penalties they put down in the semi-final. Frenchie Kilian Foulon, only ranked number 52 in the world, but there's massive strength of depth in this French team. It's okay to go a bit deep because that's where the mortar is moving. Won't be going to the Olympics. That right and honour goes to Denis Chagodenou from Marseille, who's delighted to go to the Games after missing out to Tony Stangler, who, as we know, retired after winning 3 Olympics. Here we go again, tricky section. Maybe slightly down there. He's lost a second or so, but crucially didn't hit a gate. If you do hit a gate, that's a 2-second penalty, and if you miss a gate altogether, that's a whopping 50-second penalty, which added directly onto your time and obviously puts you out of the game. Not needing to punt off the wall. Last gate. It's going to be close. Provisionally moves into second place. This is a chap maybe with something to prove. He is really hot on his day. Mikel Jani from the Czech Republic has 1 previous victory in the World Cup. Disappointed in the Czech trials, which are probably more competitive than any others in the world. He only came 4th, so that means he's not going to be in the regular team. I believe he's going to Pau in a couple of weeks, but here he comes down. He put a scintillating time down, much quicker than the others in the semi-final. What's he going to do today? Remember, the last 2 guys we saw are crucially clear. Really finding the fast line, and crucially is 2.89 seconds up at this stage. Really cutting a fine line. High risk can give you high reward. As you see on the side there, the 4 safety staff, they're all kitted out and ready to jump in case there's a problem. This is fast-flowing white water. Now, he has time to play with. All he needs to do is negotiate himself through the last gate, which he's done correctly. Home, and the victory belongs to Mikel Jani from the Czech Republic. Confirmation of the results. Mikel Jani takes the gold for the Czech Republic. Thomas Cochlin takes the silver for Switzerland, and Kilian Foulon takes the bronze for France. Well, the start of the C1 women category, and this has traditionally belonged to Jessica Fox. The last 3 years she's been the world champion. Marilee Franklin, in your picture now from Great Britain, has twice been the vice champion in the World Championships. Known as a very dexterous, powerful paddler, she knows exactly where to put her boat. Many compare her style to that of the men, but she's switching a lot, as you can see as well, so always keeping herself on what's called the onside. Well, so far she's significantly up. Marilee also a very accomplished K1 paddler. Completely different mechanics with the women. Clearly they don't have the same strength, so it's all about technique and putting the boat where you need to. As you saw, she spun the boat tactically on gate number 19, gate number 20, really had to push to have her head through and clearly hit the gate and picked up, as you can see on your screen, an instant 2-second penalty. But that's okay, because we saw at the split on gate 16, she was 9 seconds up on the field. Let's see how she finishes off here. And clearly has a huge lead, but doesn't look that happy as there's quality field following her. No one is more quality than Jessica Fox, still 21 years old, from Australia, born in France, father an English legend, mother also a French legend, so she certainly has the pedigree. As we all remember, she took the silver medal in the K1 category in the London Olympic Games. Maybe dropped a bit low, but crucially she managed to keep the boat speed on, and always with Jessica Fox. Now, that is typical Jessica Fox. She puts herself in a mess, she says, no problem, I'll negotiate myself out of it, and she does so, just losing a couple of seconds. Has 4 seconds of penalties and is a little bit down at the moment. She's really going to have to put down the power here. Takes a good line out of 17. 18, crucially, keeping the boat moving. Switching and switching hands as well. Really knows exactly where she wants to put the boat. The last tricky section can be, but she's in and out of there in one paddle movement. Just a case of going over the line. She's very, very fit, has plenty of power left, and comes over the line. That is as close as you're going to see. She takes the provisional lead by 1/4 of a second. Kimberly Woods, 20 years old, from Rugby in England. She can paddle anything and is frighteningly talented. Had a bit of a down year a couple of years ago, but now has come back to the top level. In fact, in 2015, she was the European champion. Loves the adrenaline rush. Oh, now that's a little bit lucky, because she actually managed to hold back and take her body round the outside. Otherwise, it would have been a 50-second penalty. Only been awarded 2 seconds of penalties. As you can see on the graphic there, she's actually 5 seconds up at the moment. So really in the driving seat here. Using the water, no point in fighting against it. Spins maybe a little bit slowly on gate number 19. And drops a little bit low. This is costing her a second here, a second there. Could be painful at the end. Just 5 more strokes to go, and it's all going to be over. Where's she going to come? Well, she knows she's left something out on the course. Confirmation of the results. Jessica Fox takes gold for Australia, Marilee Franklin, Great Britain silver, and Kimberly Woods takes bronze for Great Britain.
It's a challenging course here in Ivrea. It was the moves in the middle section proved quite difficult for me, and I struggled with it in the semi, but managed to put down a solid run to get through, and then improved a lot on the rest of the run. But in the final, I still had to go with a plan B back ferry there. So I'm just glad that I could then charge down the bottom and finish it off well.
I am Rivaldi. I am from Verona, from Italy, and I moved in Brazil in 2011. I think that for the coach is not just going in a different country and try to do what I did in Italy or in Spain, for example. I think that it's very important to know exactly the philosophy of the people that live there, and I try to adapt my philosophy for slalom in this situation.
5 years ago, when the coach come to Brazil. He changed the Brazilian athlete's mind to who is Canoe slalom.
My idea for coaching is try to put the athlete in the condition to discover himself what is better for him.
It's not power, it's not about the power, it's not about how fast you can go. It's about feel the water, it's about like a dance, like a tango, he says, because he's Italian, you know. Our team is inside on the Olympics because we train together, we fight together, we go up together.
I think that I'm very happy and I'm a very lucky coach because this athlete is very good and also they are always happy, always smile, and I think that for coaches the best thing that I can do.
Well, Brazil representing the true character of canoe slalom. Moving on, the K1 men final. Giovanni Di Gennaro, Daniele Momenti just squeezed into the final, and no one knows this course where they actually held the Italian trials, or the first leg of the Italian trials for the Olympic selection just a few weeks ago. Di Gennaro here, 23 years old, yet to win a World Cup, but he crucially did take the place, and he's going to Rio. All about power. Everyone said he has the ability to really take this course apart and clearly knows it better than anyone else. Really finding the tight lines in and out on one stroke. Again, not leaving anything, taking the high-risk approach, and he's really nailing it. The idea is to keep the boat going as fast as possible, and he's taking the best possible lines. A judge to have a 2-second penalty on there. That must be the bow of the boat that just clipped the gate. Doesn't matter how hard you clip it. If you clip it, it's a 2-second penalty. Arms are going to be hurting. Everything is going to be hurting, but the crowd are roaring him on. Over the line now. He's first to go. Is it going to be a competitive time? 90.13. A legend of the sport, 2012 Olympic champion, Daniele Momenti, has struggled a bit with injury in the last couple of years, and as we just appreciated a minute ago, he does not go to Rio. He's one of the most dynamic, shaman-like paddlers out there, and the crowd clearly appreciate him. By the way, when he was a youngster before 1999, he was actually a demo junior runner here. His colleague and teammate has the time to beat, and they're very close. Oh, he's taken out gate number 16. He may regret that. That's an instant 2-second penalties. You can hit it as many times as you like. It's still only 2 seconds. Made a little bit of time up there. And like most athletes before, was chosen to spin on 19. Just 2 more gates to go. That shows local knowledge, knows exactly how to do it. Powers over the line. Where's he going to come? Well, provisional second place. Dariusz Popiela from Poland, typical of all Polish paddlers. He is incredibly strong and incredibly fit. Let's see what he can do here. When he's on form, he can put forward sensational runs. A little bit lighter than the last 2 competitors. In and out dramatically quickly there. Ranked number 14 in the world, so certainly has his place in this final. Quite a few of the top paddlers not here, unfortunately, this weekend because they've just come back from a training camp in Rio. But you can only beat who you have to on the day. It's all about taking the line. Maybe lost half a second there. Coming down to the last section of the course. Yeah, not quite as clean as the others we've seen. He certainly will have the force to come over the line. 5 more strokes, and here he goes. Gold for Italy, Giovanni Di Gennaro. Silver for Italy, Daniele Momenti. And bronze for Poland, Dariusz Popiela.
Beh, è stata la prima volta
Well,
in cui sono
this was
riuscito
the
a
first
resistere per più
time
di una
I've been able to take a
posizione,
victory.
diciamo, primo in quest'area.
It's a wonderful atmosphere, great ambience here. But however, there's a lot of tension. And so we started making jokes just to relieve a little bit of the tension.
I am Štěpánka Hilgertová from Czech Republic. I'm paddling K1 women category. I am here with my family, with my son, with my husband.
I am glad that I have the opportunity to take my family with me. They bring me luck.
My goal is to enjoy all the races, but not only this, because family support is the best thing you can have on the race.
The best advice from my mom was to be myself and enjoy every moment of the paddling.
The support of family members is the best thing you can have.
Štěpánka Hilgertová, one of the true legends of the sport, unfortunately missed out in the final today. But these are the 10 athletes in action. And look at that, we have several former world champions today. We're going to have a look at the top three. Connie to her friends, Karina Kunle, 28 years old from Austria. By making this final, she's booked her place in Rio, so huge relief there. One of the most, if not the most, powerful ladies on the circuit. And so far, although she's picked up an early 2-second penalties, she looks really in control of this. Crucially, just putting the head round the gate and choosing to spin at gate 19. It's all a case of lining herself up. Maybe lost half a second or so there. Coming last to the tricky drop. And here we go. It's been a very solid run. Where's she going to go? And provisionally into first place, taking over from Yasmin Schomburg, who we saw in the picture. Jessica Fox going again. It is a weekend activity. So yesterday she won the C1 and today she's in the K1 where she won the silver medal at the London Olympic Games, and clearly in the Australian trials she booked her place to represent Australia in the Rio Olympic Games. She's known for her extraordinary technique, her precision and her extraordinary will to win. This course today, 230 metres long with a drop of around about 6.5 metres. It looks real, but it is artificial, been recently redeveloped. Going very close to the wall, but that's okay. It's only hitting the gates that count. Again, she never has the boat still, always keeping the momentum going. A little bit tight around the last gate, and here she comes. And difficult to read her emotions. She knows she could have done better. Ricarda Funk, huge strength to weight ratio. She'll be disappointed she missed out on the Rio spot. That goes to Melanie Pfeiffer. But in the last couple of years, arguably, Ricarda Funk has been the form athlete. She's so light, she just flows on top of the water, but knows exactly where to put her paddle at every single occasion. And making light work of the tricky 13, 14, 15 combination. Look at that, she's 0.03 seconds up on Jessica Fox. And she's the last to go, having been the fastest in the semi-final. It's down to the last 6 gates. No one knows how to finish a race better than Ricarda Funk. She has nerves of steel. Spins round 19. Places the boat skillfully in 20. Coming down the last drop. That's safe. It's all about how much power she has left. That's a really good line, not hesitating at all. The last few strokes to come over the line. Where's she going to finish? The answer is first place by 0.35 seconds. Confirmation of the results. Ricarda Funk takes gold for Germany. Jessica Fox takes silver for Australia. And Karina Kunle takes the bronze medal for Austria. I'm just so happy. It was just super cool. After the national qualifications, where I missed out on the Olympic spot, I was a little bit disappointed. But this feels just so good, so cool. It really does good for me. Here's the top 10 to go in the C2 men's final. The fastest pure time was the legends from Slovakia, the Hochschorners, who unfortunately are not going to the games this year. China, Zhang and Deng, very fast, very compact. It's exactly the same course. What we'll see is quite a lot of punting off the walls by the stern man, and he's a back left paddler, so certain gates will be a lot easier than others. But they're putting together a very impressive run. So far, no penalties. The way the gates are laid out, some are favouring back left, some favour back right, but in the end of the day, the idea is to balance the course and give them a fair test. Well, that's the last upstream gate out of the way. Now it's just a case of putting the power on, and they are very fast sprinters coming over the line. Well, they look happy with that performance. Next to gates, one of 3 French teams in this final, Nicolas Cianimanico and Hugo Cahol. Punting off the wall again. Down the drop. Keeping the boat moving, which is absolutely crucial. Keeping the boat flat, water off the top. Slaloming him in and out of this tricky combination. 13, 14, 15 negotiated very well. Let's see where they are on the split. Well, they're 4 seconds off. As it's a back right crew, they need to punt off the wall now. Cutting it very, very close, going near the poles, but not hitting them. What will they choose to do on 19? And they choose the spin option. Through 20, 21 safe as well. This last up, actually very difficult, the shallow water there for the back rights. And they made a real mess of that. They've lost at least 2 seconds. No need for that. They're going to be kicking themselves at the end. Well, provisionally moving to first place, but they've certainly left some hope for the others. David Schroeder, Nico Betke, massively experienced, have often been with different partners, but now they're together. They're often training on the ice canal in Germany. This is a different sort of course. Taking a bit long, maybe going around the loop. But they're crucially clear. They had an early 2-second penalty, which might cost them. Leaving half a second here and half a second there as they go on. As we know, the C2 is going to be making its last appearance in the Rio Olympic Games, with the C1 women taking over from Tokyo. Hit the pole with the back there. That's another 2 seconds on. It's not the dream run, unfortunately. But again, as we see a back right combination, they might struggle here on the tight turn. But successfully through the last gate. This is where they're going to make up some time. And they cross the line in second. Cianimanico and Cahill take the gold for France. Schroeder, Betke, silver for Germany. And Zhang and Deng take the bronze for China.
super.
Absolutely delighted. We're very happy with the run, although we messed up a little bit at the end, so we had to wait and see what everyone else did, but it worked out well, and we deserved it. Happy. Well, that's it from this stunning location, Ivrea in the north of Italy. Let's hope we can come back soon. Thanks for watching. If you want more information about the athletes, go to @PlanetCanoe. See you soon.